the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is Iracing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iracing.com.
Back here, live for race number 3 of the Lead Foot Racing League. Tonight, we are at Southern National, a track known for hard and tough racing. My name is Scott Shive. I will be joined by Wesley Outland, our lead commentator tonight, and glad to see that I think someone will be happy about his name. I know Wesley will be happy, but tonight, I am with Cody Deemers in production, and we are so excited about this race tonight. Number 3 so far, the teammates at Sour Monkey Motorsport have put it on the top of the charts. Jordan Black and Parker Eatman both with a win. Black's coming at Lanier, and Eatman's coming last week at New Smyrna. Qualifying happening right now. Let's give a thanks to our sponsor of this race, Joyner Brothers Racing 125, go-kart racing team consisting of the brothers Chandler Joyner and Chase Joyner. The team is owned by their dad, Dusty Joyner, and they have jumped on board tonight as our sponsor. They're based out of Lucum, North Carolina here, and so we've got the Joyce Brothers Racing 125 here tonight from Southern National. Couldn't be more excited to bring this race to you. Qualifying going on right now. Lenny Brown, the 83, at the top of the charts with a 14-2. Tanner Carter close behind with a 14-238. So just separated by 2 1/1000ths of a second there for those top 2 positions. And Wesley Outland is here with us. Make sure he's confirmed, but Wesley will be our lead tonight for the Joyner Brothers Racing 125. So Wesley getting his headset already. Make sure he'll text and when we've got him alive with his headset. But again, drivers out there with qualifying right now. And again, I talked about it last week. I was so excited about this track. It's one of my favorite short tracks that all of late model stock racing gets to go to around the country. They end up here in Lucum, North Carolina at a track that everybody knows and loves. Puts on a Thanksgiving Classic Speaking of the Thanksgiving Classic, driver Parker Eatman with Sour Monkey Motorsport, he did win the Thanksgiving Classic here last year, IRL, in 2024. So look for him to be strong here tonight. He's obviously been strong in real life. That can definitely correlate to being strong in the sim. Wesley is here. He's ready. Wesley, glad to join you here tonight at Southern National Motorsports Park.
Thank you so much, buddy. And by the way, it is Lucama, North Carolina, Southern National Motorsports Park in Lucama, North Carolina, or as we in the South just call it, Kinley. And it's probably about 15 miles. It's about 15 miles from my front door. Southern National Motorsports Park, 17 degrees of banking in the corners, a fun, fast racetrack, and of course, the next side of the Leadfoot Racing League. Before I go any further, I want to say thank you to producer-director Cody Wooten with Elevated TV and the Leadfoot Racing League and Landon Brown and everybody for giving me a chance to make it to work with you, Scott. I've been in announcing duties all weekend long and literally just hightailed it from Asheboro, North Carolina, back to Smithfield and Joco, and literally just sat down in the chair, and we're ready to go racing, my friends. So looking forward to Southern National tonight. And give me a few minutes as I look at my stats and notes and whatnot, and we're about ready to go for racing, man. It's going to be a fun one, another 125-lapper with the Leadfoot Racing League Series.
Well, like you said, it's going to be a great one here. We know that you're a busy man running all around. Glad that you could be here tonight with us. Like he said, glad that Landon Brown and all the admins at the Leadfoot Racing League were able to work it all out. We moved ourselves back by 30 minutes so that we could have this race getting on. Parker Eatman, Jordan Black, the Sour Monkey Motorsport guys, they continue to pop up all season long in the first two races we've had. They're at the top of the standings right now in qualifying. These are the unofficial results at the moment. We'll make sure to get those official qualifying coming to a close here. Just 15 seconds left. But right there, everyone has put down a lap all the way from Eatman to Eversole.
Yeah, and obviously we're going to keep an eye on that and watch and see what these guys will do. As obviously we have seen this domination by these drivers. And again, we welcome you to the Joyner Brothers Racing 125. The Joyner Brothers sponsoring this event. Southern National is the racetrack, and man, this is just an awesome place. I mean, 0.4 of a mile, just shy of a mile of being a half-mile distance racetrack. If you didn't know the story behind this facility, obviously Francis Tuttle, the people that designed Darlington Raceway, Talladega, Bristol, were involved in helping make the layout, the landscape, the architecture that is the groundwork that is Southern National, and we're ready to go racing here tonight for the next round of Season 2 in the Joyner Racing Brothers 125. Parker Eatman's on the pole, Jordan Black on row number 1. These are the men that have won this year in the points races. Lenny Brown, Tanner Carter making up row number 2, Jeremy Lepanis and Jeffrey Comer on row number 3, and we'll add Zach Franks and Landon Brown to the first 4 rows there, Scott.
Back in 9th and 10th position, the 38 of Tim Hansen and the 15 of Chandler Joyner, one of your Joyner brothers here sponsoring this race. Then in row number 6, it's Tracy Brown, Jason Woodham. Your last driver making up the end of the field tonight is the 01 of Robert Eversole. So 13 drivers make the call here tonight at Southern National. And Cody, I was saying it before you were here, that this is a track that I just love in the sim and all around because it provides such good racing.
It is, man, and a Southern National Motorsports Park is a very special place to me. It's home. It's kind of like what I think of County Line Raceway for the dirt racing world, man. That's a very special place in my heart. I know I get to travel all over the country and get paid to talk and call sports for a living, but there are special venues, special facilities, and this is definitely one of those places. You see that small grandstand in turn number 4? I remember when my dad took me to the racetrack back in the day, and we sat there watching races like we are right now. Green flag in the air. The Joyner Racing Brothers 125 is underway here at Southern National. Working off turn 4, Parker Eatman, a man that's no stranger to this place. Scott Shive, Thanksgiving Classic winner last November, leads the late models into 3 here at Virtual Kinley.
Does Tanner Carter running up in the third position, got his way from the outside. That's not something that we get to see a lot of drivers do. He was able to pinch down the 83 of Lenny Brown and get that spot from the outside.
The key to this is obviously patience. Remember, we will have a CRN, Community Radio Network, stage break on lap number 40 of the race. Stage breaks on lap number 40. And remember, if there's a caution anytime within lap 35 to lap 40, that will be considered the stage break of the race. Nonetheless, it is stride for stride. Leadfoot Racing League underway here in Kinley. We're watching this battle going on here between we got trouble. Cars stacking, slamming into the wall. And that's one of the things about Southern National as well. It's not a matter of being caught up in the accident, Scott. It's a matter of avoiding the accident, and you might get collected in it.
Yeah, Tim Hansen not able to avoid the action there. The MHD designed caution flies on lap number 6. But it looks like it happened a little bit ahead of where you and I were watching.
Yeah, let's take a look at it again. Watch the replay coming up here, and you'll be able to see it. By the way, MHD Design, Technical Design Services, the caution flag sponsor of this first caution. And here it is, just a little antsy. Zach Franks made a shot on that 83, got into him, turned him, and then everyone else is like just rock'em sock'em robots from there.
Yeah, that's one thing that you said. You know, we talked about patience is going to be a real key tonight. We'll watch along with Tracy Brown riding back behind this incident, even up from where we're watching right along with him. He tries to avoid, gets in to that 38 of Hansen, and he goes down to the inside wall. But you saw it right there. Zach Franks probably just needed a little bit more patience. You know, we're only 6 laps into this race of 125, and just goes real hard in fighting with that 83.
Yeah, look at this again from another angle. Multiple angles will show you how this all went down, and take your pick as we have another caution flag, MHD Design caution flag. By the way, this race is presented by the Joyner Racing Brothers. Big thanks for them stepping up and sponsoring this event. Go-kart race team consisting of brothers Chandler Joyner and Chase Joyner. Of course, the team is owned by their dad, Dusty Joyner, and they have jumped on board as the sponsor of tonight's race here at Southern National. The Joyner Brothers Racing 125, and of course, the caution flag presented by MHD Design, owned by Mac Morgan and based in North Carolina, company that excels in creative, innovative, architectural, and interior design solutions. They focus on crafting unique and functional spaces for residential clients, ensuring each project reflects the individual style and needs of the owner. 1 to go indication being given. We're getting ready, Scott Shive, to turn them loose here on a restart.
I got mixed up a little bit there after that caution, so Jeffrey Comer up on the front row, and Jordan Black has moved back to third.
So we go back to racing again. Right now, Parker Eatman, Jordan Black, and Carter right there within each other. Battle for the 4th and 5th spots side by side. This is Comer and Brown. They're going to go at it, and they're still door-to-door to the back straightaway here at Kinley.
Brown, one of your biggest movers, started back in 8th, moving himself up to 4th. Jeffrey Comer cannot find the bottom. Now that 33 of Jeremy Lapenis is down to the inside, so Comer needs to find a way to the bottom.
Yeah, Jonathan Sessoms chiming in, and he says it's called Lucama, North Carolina, bud. And yeah, I mean, in your defense, Scott, you didn't know it.
No, I've never
seriously
heard anyone
sounds
say
like
it.
That. So yeah, it's Lucama. Yeah, and for the people that can't say it, they just say Kinley.
I was just going to say, that's what I'm going to do from now on.
And Cody will tell you that I'm telling the truth, because literally, I mean, I remember back in the day it was Southern National Speedway, and it was Kinley, North Carolina. It was never promoted as Lucama, North Carolina. So, yeah, and Southern National was so damn hard. You know, it was so hard to swallow to say all the time. And people would just say, "Hey, man, we're going to Kinley. You want to go? You're going to Kinley." Right. Nonetheless, we are working in the lap number 20 of this event. And again, Parker Eatman in the lead. Jordan Black second. And everybody right there holding onto the battle. Look at this man now. This is Lenny Brown, by the way. Scott, remember what happened to him? He got caught up in the caution earlier at the start of the race off turn 4, and he has rallied his way right back in to the top 10. He is up in 6th now.
Yeah, got turned by Zach Franks, came down to pit road, used his fast repair, so he is leading this second pack almost 1.4 seconds back from your 5th place driver of Jeremy Lapenas. Battle for the inside. Looks like Lapenas trying to get to the inside of Landon Brown. This is the battle for 4th spot.
Yeah, thought about it, makes a move, peeks to the inside, back to the outside, nothing there, and right now we see them get back single file again. Big thanks to Whiplash SimCam. Again, the camera work presented by Whiplash SimCams. If we could put that in our itinerary, Cody, that would make things a lot better for us. Whiplash SimCam, again, appreciate them showing the awesome camera angles here at Kinley as we are closing in on 100 laps to go. And that's another thing, Scott. This track is 0.4 of a mile, just shy a half of a mile, and you can turn quick laps around this place as well.
You really can. 14 seconds is what you'll see pretty much all night long. Leaders running in the 14.4s right now. So a lot of them running back there as laps will slowly click off. Those times will continue to slow down a little bit. Obviously, this track will eat tires, not as much as a lot of other places we'll go to. It's not the tire shredder, but you will use them nonetheless. So you want to take care of them all night long.
And here's something also to think about, Scott, as we work into the final 15 laps of the first stage, the CRN stage number 1 of this race tonight of the racing in the Joyner Racing Brothers 125. Southern National is, again, 0.4 of a mile. As we got a caution, Lenny Brown in trouble again. Problems for the Eastern Technical Design 83. This will put us under another MHD ignition caution flag. MHD design caution flag.
Yeah, just after you and I were talking about how well he had run back up through this field, looks like he just gets loose, leading and getting away from that second pack, trying to catch up to the first. Looks like he just oversteps it on the exit of turn 4, sideways on the front stretch.
Lenny Brown's car again going around. There's the caution flag. Another caution out.
The good news is he only lost 3 spots. You know, you saw Chandler Joyner or Robert Eversole battling in that second pack, but they are already 1 lap down. Joyner now has gotten the free pass. He'll get that lap back under this MHG design caution, but luckily for Brown, he didn't lose too many spots, and he's got a lot of laps left to go.
Other partners here, big thanks as always to Tricked Out Decals, the Pole Award sponsor. And the fast time went to our buddy Parker Eatman. He set quick time in qualifying, and he was already awarded some cash in his pocket. $10 from the great folks at Tricked Out Decals. Scott Shive, I'm Wesley Outling. Cody Deemers alongside. By the way, thank you so much for being able to join us for coverage on Elevated TV tonight, as right now it is closing in on the end of the CRN Stage 1 with about 10, make it 9 remaining when they come to the line. And Scott, we're getting ready for a restart. This is the perfect time to talk about it. Southern National Motorsports Park, 0.4 of a mile, right? We talked about that. 0.400 miles, just shy of a half mile. Okay, 0.644 kilometers. 17 degrees of banking. 7 degrees in the straightaways. But the thing that blows you away is the width of the racing surface is 70 feet wide, but my God almighty, when they get up to full song, Scott, it don't feel like it.
No, it feels like about half that, about 35 feet, because these cars race so close together. It's because they carry so much speed through the corners.
And we're back to green. Cody, can you send me the thumbnail in my messenger, please? Back underway is right now Parker Eatman in front. He leads the charge. as we're moving into the end of the first stage of this race, CRN stage number 1, the Community Radio Network, the proud company that I own, operate, president, lead anchor, and co-founder for. You can check it out at wearecrn.com. Race archives from Wake County, of course, also Caraway today, baseball and basketball playoffs for the state championship and more going on as the opening handful of laps, Scott, remain in stage 1 here at Kinley.
Parker Eatman has led every single one of them. Teammate for Sour Monkey Motorsports, Jordan Black, has been right behind. My big question is, we've seen great speed out of that 00 of Tanner Carter. It seems like he's always been our guy to round out the podium. Had a little bit of trouble last week near the end of New Smyrna, and he really probably deserved a top 5. He was not able to get it after getting caught up in some action. But tonight, we find him running third again.
Eatman in the lead, time running out here. Another stage, CRN stage number 1. This will take us to lap number 40, and there will be another MHD Design Incorporated controlled caution, meaning that it was a stage caution. And right now, it is all Parker Eatman. I wonder if he's having flashbacks to about 5 months ago, if you will, on a cold December 1st, winning the Thanksgiving Classic at Southern National. And right now, he's hitting his marks as he'll win CRN stage number 1. And of course, the Community Radio Network, wearecrn.com for more information. We're also on YouTube at CRN Sports Network. Hit that elevated TV, like and subscribe. Go on over to Community Radio Network and hit them as well. And here comes the first stage, Scott, and I think everybody is psyching one another coming to pit lane.
A huge fake out. I really thought they were committed there. You saw Eatman was, inches away from the commitment cone there. Otherwise, we'll see some drivers either fall to the fake out or they had planned to come in already. Jeremy Lapenas, one of your first, then Jeffrey Cummer, Lenny Brown as well, and Tim Hansen, your 4 drivers to make it into the pit lane this time. Looking like they're all going to go. Looks like Hansen there went for 2 and some other drivers went for 4.
Yeah, I really am surprised. I did not think that we would see, hitting around this time. I'm very surprised at this, honestly, Scott. I figured maybe get to around 75, 80 if a caution comes out, then maybe pit road opens, then you pit. But pitting on lap number 40, this was a big stretch for me.
Well, that's one thing, Wes. We can't guarantee the caution. We know that the action definitely gets hot here. Like you said, it really feels it's way tighter than it is. I think, though, if we can make it off a restart and get clean, I imagine all those drivers that just came down the pit lane are imagining that we could stay clean and green, and maybe they'll go on to have a tire advantage near the end of this race.
Yeah, right now, of course, as it stands, what a phenomenal job we're watching these guys do. That is CRN stage number 1. Remember, this race still has about 81, 82 laps to go, and they're quickly getting back into position to get ready to go back for a restart here.
Eatman will be on the bottom. Teammate Black on the top. Tanner Carter right there in third, and Landon Brown has found his way back into the 4th spot.
Ready for the field to settle back in for a restart as we move now into stage number 2, ready to decide the second half of tonight's event here at the Joyner Brothers Racing 125, and we're back underway here as we approach lap 50.
Look at this, Tanner Carter trying to squeeze to that inside, gets the inside of Jordan Black. Black trying to run the high side to get some speed to find a hole between Eatman and Carter. It might be here. Carter loose off the corner.
Had a big opportunity to try to make one of those moves happen. Thought better of it. Moves to the inside, to the outside, and now the crossover move. And he's got friends. Parker Eatman under attack by the second, third podium drivers of Black and Carter. That goes on in 3.
What a great job from Black there to take advantage of that mistake by Tanner Carter. He saw one slip up from him and knew that that was his moment to find his way to the bottom. So the teammates back out front, 1 and 2. Meanwhile, side by side in the back for a moment, Jeffrey Cummer gets by Tim Hansen. So that's pretty much all single filed out except for Eversole.
This is the Joyner Brothers Racing 125. Follow them at a go-kart track around the Carolinas. I know we had the Triple T Raceway 10th Annual Chili Bowl Karting Championship. That race was rescheduled because of weather. The Terry Odom Promotions, good friend of Terry Odom. And a lot of people don't know this, Scott, but I was one of the original promoters with Terry Odom promoting the original Chili Bowl for about 3 years until I stepped away because, honestly, other work got in the way. But really cool to see that race. Reaper Tires doing well and the continuation of that Chili Bowl Karting Championship. Usually in January, had to be moved to mid-March because of weather. 75 laps to go, under 75 to go, and right now it is still Parker Eatman playing the cat and mouse game between Black and Carter off 4.
He's led every lap. He's dominating right now, but a lot of laps left to go in this race. This is that single filed out racing that I was talking about that some of these drivers that pitted earlier on might be hoping for. You see Jeffrey Kummer, your farthest mover of those drivers that came into the pit lane last time by. He's sitting in 6th. Then right behind him, Tim Hansen is one of those others. He sits in 7th. So drivers on new tires, seeing if they will be able to pace this field, have an advantage later on if we stay green.
Right now, continuing to see now with 70 laps remaining. These drivers continue to battle. What's coming up next? Check this out. Join Emmett and Scott on Tuesday night for the JE Challenge Series Dirt program, the home of the USA Nationals. I've been to that racetrack in Cedar Lake, Wisconsin. We'll be doing it on Elevated TV Tuesday night. Wednesday, we're off. Thursday, I'll be back on the call for the North Wilkesboro 4-wide Motorsports late model stock tour, kind of like these cars. And they'll be at North Wilkesboro Speedway. And next Monday night, trouble, look out! Woodham and so many other cars slam into one another. I think we saw the 83 car of Brown also possibly get airborne there, Scott.
Yeah, we did. I think that all started with the 15 of Chandler Joyner. Look back at it right now to see where we found this. And so it happened earlier. It happened with the 71 of Jason Woodham. Oh my goodness, huge pileup in turn 4.
And we welcome you to coverage. And we welcome you to coverage not only on Elevated TV, but also on the Community Radio Network as our other scheduled programming has now gone off the air. We just had a massive crash coming out of turn number 4 as the 0-1 machine spin and got airborne after another big wreck. That's Robert Eversole, by the way. Another week of bad luck here in the Leadfoot Racing League here at Southern National. Watch Woodham. He goes around Scott, and then all of a sudden, nowhere to go. And, man, look at the impact as Brown did send Eversole airborne in the Elevated TV 01. Here's a look at it on board, that car.
Yeah, Robert Eversole just riding at the back here. Action happens in front of him right where his A-post is. He can't see, nowhere to go, and then Lenny Brown gets in the side of him there. Wow, just sends him up onto his left sides, turns him towards the front straightaway. Let's slide along, right along with the 83 of Brown. He's way far back here. He also can't see them stacking up in front here. Sees the stack up there, tries to go high, nowhere to go.
From another angle. And there is obviously a look of how it went down there. This is what, the 4th MHD design caution of the race also. So another caution flag. And they'll all get back into position here. We were talking about some of the amazing things to come. I'll tell you what, you were talking about this, the 4-wide Motorsports before the big wreck happened again off turn 4. Scott, you and Emmett, for the most part, handle that on Monday nights, and now obviously going to have fun with a mini stock series.
Now, I'm really excited about the mini stocks. I've never gotten to, ever really watch them race. And so I'm really excited to get to see what those things can do because those 4-bangers are so much fun. I've heard from so many people that they always put on great shows.
getting ready to come back to the restart zone. By the way, some other partners of the Leadfoot Racing League and tonight's Joyner Brothers Racing include W Energy as we move into the finish of this one. The 2024 Thanksgiving Classic winner, Parker Eatman, now in the back as he just pitted a moment ago. He's got a rally to the front. He's in 5th. He's in 6th, 5th. Now trying to go after Black & Company off 4. 60 to go.
All of our drivers that pitted that time by got trapped a lap down by some of the other drivers that stayed out. So Jordan Black and Eatman are both stuck 6th and 7th lap down. You see Black there on the outside of Comer. It looks like he's in 3rd, but he's a lap down.
And we are watching these drivers working their way back around the racetrack. Another great battle continuing here. Take your pick. Racing action all over the place. And now we watch Parker Eatman for the first time tonight now. Scott Shive try to wheel and deal. By the way, use the code LFRL and get 10% off of an order from W Energy. We're 3 wide as there's the monkey in the middle, the 15 machine.
Tanner Carter, also a driver, 1 lap down, but nonetheless goes through on the inside, 3 wide with Hansen and the 15 of Joyner. And so Eatman continues to move his way forward here, but it doesn't matter too much right now because he is still a lap down.
Gotta love it right now as we're continuing to see all of this action continue back across the start-finish line. And all the while, the game continues of who is going to be the Pied Piper here tonight at Virtual Southern National. All this time, we are seeing sheer domination by the drivers of Eatman. And obviously, don't count out Parker Eatman and the driver of Jordan Black. Now these drivers are mired back in the top 10, trying to come back to the front, racing hard. So is also Jeffrey Comer. He's going after these lap machines as they work off of turn 4.
Yeah, Jeffrey Comer scored 2nd here behind the 5 of Landon Brown. You see Carter here working to the inside of Brown, but Brown still technically your leader. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Our drivers, these were the top 3 up front running right now of Eatman, Black, and Carter. But again, they're a lap down. Your technical leader is Brown. This is technically the battle for the lead.
Yeah, it's a battle for the lead indeed, and not done yet. Look who's come home for supper, ready to be the victor of the spoils. Landon Brown, number 5, up in front. Number 5 alive like the movie of the robot. He showed his momentum now down the stretch, under 50 to go. Comer in 2nd. Jeffrey Comer right behind him. So is Chandler Joyner. Chandler Joyner and the Joyner Brother Racing, 125. He's in 3rd. He's on the podium. Hansen and Brown right there in the top 5 as they work into 3.
Landon Brown, your season 1 champion, looking for his first win here in season number 2. Jeffrey Comer has not gotten a win yet in the Leadfoot Racing League, so he's looking for his first win here in the league right behind Landon Brown. What a great fight it is between them. Looks like Comer has great speed, but Brown able to protect the bottom.
And remember, time is running short. Time is running out. Watching all this going on. There's the 91 machine. This is a throwback to, of course, Butterbean Brendan Queen, Daytona ARCA winner, Phoenix ARCA runner-up. Tracy Brown's driving that car. Eastern TD Incorporated on that ride of the Triple B machine. He now sits in a very good, comfortable spot of the top 10.
What heartbreak it was for Butterbean at Phoenix this past weekend. Got to watch as he was dominating and the cautions flew. Brent Cruz was able to get it from him, but here at Southern National Motorsports Park, it's Landon Brown leading the field. But it looks like Eatman and Black are trying to get all the way around. They've gotten back on the lead lap, but they've got only 43 laps to get back around to these leaders unless we see a caution.
And don't forget, if you like these late model stock warlords on virtual iRacing and Elevated TV, remember to join, of course, all Elevated TV broadcast related content. Make sure to scan the QR code and find out how you can join Elevated TV. And of course, iRacing is what you're watching. If you'd like to know more details about the official streaming partner of NASCAR, once this QR code goes away, here comes another one. Click that QR code and find out about the latest news and updates from eNASCAR, iRacing, and on Elevated TV. 40 to go. And right now, the racing continues as Landon Brown leads. He is, of course, around the Kinley area. So is the Joyner family. They're in third. And it is all Landon Brown looking for his first feature win, if you will, of the season. Scott, if he does it, we got a hat trick. 3 winners in 3 events on season 2.
Yeah, Landon Brown from Bailey, North Carolina with his Triple B Racing team. And we would be our 3rd different winner in 3 races so far here in the Leadfoot Racing League 2nd season. The question is there enough time for Jordan Black, Parker Eatman, Tanner Carter to get back around to these leaders? I think 11 seconds is just a little bit too long, Wesley.
And the lyrics to the great song by Tanya Tucker, it's a little too late to do the right thing now. Working lap number 90 as time is closing into a factor of ending. 35 remaining. Some of these drivers better get on the high horse and make something happen. And we're watching Black and Eatman losing ground on the leader of Brown as they work into the corner. 35 off turn 2. Trouble!
Spinner!
It's around. Chandler Joyner in third. Spins. Collects the 38 of Tim Hansen. MHD Design Yellow Linning flag is out again here with under 40 remaining in this race. Man, this changes everything.
I was going to say, I can tell you that Landon Brown, Jeffrey Comer, and even Chandler Joyner are extremely upset. Joyner was running third, gets a little squeezed by Woodham there. He gets tagged by Hansen, and as we know about these late model stocks, you get a tag in the rear, it lifts up that rear end, and you lose all grip.
What heartbreak. Here's a look at it from another angle. By the way, thanks to the camera angles by Whiplash. Thank you to Whiplash. And boy, oh boy, you might get a little whiplash after seeing this. I mean, it was like a pirouette in unison of those 2 cars going around, and let's tango.
Like one of me and my good announcer friends, Kenneth Leno, said one time, it was around the Olympics, we said it's synchronized spinning here in the late model stocks. We saw them do that in one race that him and I got to call, but I can tell you right now that Brown is still going to have this lead, but him and Jeffrey Comer definitely did not want to see a caution for the rest of that race because they were 10 seconds ahead of Black and Eatman. But Black and Eatman will now line up 4th and 5th.
And we will get ready for a restart. Hey, by the way, the next big event coming up after this weekend is officially the Easter Bunny 150. The virtual Easter Bunny 150 will be coming up on March 21st and 22nd, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. There you go. I think it's a Friday and a Saturday, if I'm correct. And I believe I have announcing obligations at the Modified Mafia Tour Dirt Car at the County Line Raceway and the Mark Patton Memorial, so I don't think I'll make the Saturday portion. Maybe I can do Friday. We'll find out. But that comes as the next big event for Elevated TV. All right, Scott, we're coming back to green, buddy, and it is 30 to go here at Southern National.
30 to go here. Brown and Comer, can they hold off the likes of Eatman and Black? Green flag flies.
A little of aggressiveness. A car bounces off the wall. Will this draw a caution? I don't think it will yet. Now it will throw out a yellow flag. I believe that's Tanner Carter. Tanner Carter, the 00, the All-Star race winner at North Wilkesboro in the fence. Here's a replay to put us under another MHD design caution, and there it is. Joyner into Carter.
Oh my gosh, that was a big, big hit to the outside wall. Looks like Carter stopped there on the racetrack to bring out the caution for himself. But you saw it. Eatman was trying to nose his way through on the inside of Joyner. Joyner squeezed himself down, and Eatman was there. They got him loose and up into the track and sadly into the 00 of Carter. So it's going to be another race here, Wesley, where Carter might not get the finish that he looked like he deserved.
Cautions breed caution as well. Cautions breed cautions as well. That's what I was trying to say. Going to give you the boot. Leadfoot Racing League. This is Iracing on Elevated TV. If you're listening on the Community Radio Network as well, stay tuned as soon as we finish up with our radio on CRN coverage of the Leadfoot Racing League from Southern National and the Joyner Brothers Racing 125. Coming up in about an hour or so, we'll have coverage on CRN and LSR TV of the Northwest Racing Series qualifying, single car qualifying, and duels for the trucks at Daytona. That'll be coming up again later on the Community Radio Network. We have still got you slam-packed radio-wise, virtual or reality, Scott Shive, with coverage of iRacing this evening and motorsports in general.
It's going to be great stuff. And I know that y'all always put on great stuff over at CRN Radio. And tonight we've got here these Leadfoot Racing drivers at Southern National. It's going to be just under 25 laps to go, 23 when we get the green flag. And it is still Brown out front, but the Jordan Black is now to his outside.
Ready for the field to come back to the restart zone again and ready to settle this here in the Joyner Brothers Racing 125. Back to the green flag. Under 25 remaining. Brown shoots up the hill. Ever so clears to the bottom as those whiplash cameras are from the inside. Is all getting loose on the bottom. Hold on to it. That's Jeffrey Comer with a save, and we got a battle for the lead.
Battle for the lead. Black trying to work it towards the outside. We saw him be able to do it before. Can he do it this time? Parker Eatman down on the bottom. Thinks about making it 3 wide for a moment, but he holds it back. Black able to work so well from that outside line.
And here they come with now Jordan Black up on the outside. Here comes Parker Eatman. We're going to stick it 3 wide. No, we will not. Not yet. 2's a party. 3's a crowd. 4's chaos. 5 is just absolutely frantic. And those 5 cars trying to fight for the win with 20 to go here at Kinley off 4.
Eatman sneaks his way through after Brown shoved up Black in the corner. Then Black able to pull the crossover and get to the inside of Brown while the hole was still open. That hole being punched by his Sour Monkey Motorsport teammate Parker Eatman. Eatman back to the lead. Black still looking for second.
What a phenomenal job we saw, my friend Scott, battling with these guys. And now Eatman scampers back to the lead, working back to the front. Here comes the number 4. Black back to second, and back at it again is Hanson and Brown door to door with now Carter watching on after bouncing off the wall. He's back in the dogfight of the top 5 and 3.
Tim Hansen looking for his first podium of the season here on the inside of Landon Brown. Brown able to work the top side, but again, it continues to fall off. He gets into the wall. That's going to let Tanner Carter back through. So Carter has marched himself back up to 4th with 15 to go.
Under 15 laps to go when they come to the line, and it is go time. These drivers know it here in the Joyner Brothers Racing 125. Next week, we're going to North Wilkesboro. Right now, we settle it here at Kinley. The leader is up in front, Parker Eatman. He knew what it was like to win here at the Thanksgiving Classic with the best late model drivers in the country back in November, December at the Thanksgiving Classic at the Real Deal. He's now leading them here off of turn 4 with 12 to go.
Leads from his teammate Jordan Black. Black just over 0.3 of a second back. The question is there enough time? Does Black have enough speed to get to his teammate? We've seen them finish 1-2 in both of our races so far this season. They're looking to do it here tonight for the 3rd time. But the question will be, if one of them does it, who will be the repeat winner of the season?
No, listen, I really think, Scott, that they got a legitimate shot to try to get back in this thing. There's still plenty of racing left to go. Listen, if you're in it, you can win it. And these drivers right now have put themselves in a very good spot down in the catbird seat as we close in on 10 to go at Southern National.
10 laps remaining. The field single filed out for now. Tanner Carter looking to the back of Tim Hansen, but he is far back. Tim Hansen, looking for his first podium, has done very well tonight. He got involved in an incident earlier on, but ever since then has kept it clean. He's closing a little bit on these leaders of Eatman and Black, Wesley.
I'm running out. Here they come. Under 10 remaining now. Look at Parker Eatman. Jordan Black looking high, looking low, looking top, looking bottom. Could we see a BNR coming? And if you don't know what that is, it's not like a BLT sandwich. It's a bump and run. And it will be possibly what it needs to happen to get around Eatman. Jordan Black, will he go for it? Not yet. 6 to go as they work again on 4.
He's going to size up this move if he's going to make it. Let's remember, like we've said all night long, they are teammates. They're going to make sure to not compromise the 1-2. There's a bit of a moment from Eatman that opens a door for Black. He'll shoot to the bottom. Eatman will give him room off the corner.
And Brown, the lap machine, up on the outside lane. A little wiggle, jiggle, giggle, bobble, and a throw and a block as Eatman has to go high. Avoids the Brown car. Here comes Black back to the bottom. Here comes now Hansen. He wants to get in the battle with 4 to go at the line.
That move from the lap car opened the door furthermore for the 14 of Jordan Black. Really kicked it down. Now to the inside. They're going to make a little bit of contact with Netcode, but Eatman able to work the high side, pinch down his teammate in the number 14, but Black is on the inside with that dominant line. 3 laps to go.
Phenomenal close corner virtual racing going on by these drivers. Hansen can just literally slip and get into the dance. He's now right behind Black on the left rear. Now it's Eatman. He's under attack. 3 cars for the lead with 3 to go as they work now 2 to go to the back straightaway.
Black is there trying to make the move on Eatman. You saw Tim Hansen try to make the move on him. It'll be this W Energy 1 to go.
And remember, use the LFRL code to get 10% off W Energy down the back straightaway. Parker Eatman, teammate Black, right there. He gave him a bump. He got him sideways. Eatman gets it gathered again, though. But it's going to be Hansen to come and bottom to the racetrack. Tim Hansen wins here at Southern National. He will take the Joyner Brothers Racing 125. It was a bump. It was a nudge. It was a shove. Whatever you want to call it, Scott Shive. Eatman and Black get together. Eatman was able to correct, but Tim Hansen was ready to capitalize and put the Hum Flex Case 38 to victory lane. 3rd different winner in Season 2 of this awesome Leadfoot Racing League.
My jaw is on the floor. I did not think we would see that at the end.
Unbelievable.
Between the teammates. Tim Hansen takes advantage of it down on the bottom side and picks up. We thought he was going to pick up his first podium. He picks up his first win.
Unbelievable first victory. The yes sir moment of the race becomes no sir for Parker Eatman. Look at this. Black. He had to. Let me clarify on that. It's one thing to intentionally wreck somebody and take them out. It's another thing to gradually nudge your guy in there. Yeah, do it in the corner. You got more of a chance of seeing a car get sideways. And Scott, that's exactly what Jordan Black tried to do here. Nothing intentional, just racing. Parker Eatman held his ground, got the whole front nose of the 14. It sent him around. He saved it. I think even Black corrected to let Eatman get going again. And then just like that, the 38 of Tim Hansen says, excuse me, coming through inside. And he wins here with the Leadfoot Racing League in tonight's Joyner Brothers Racing 125 here at Southern National. Let's take a look at the results here tonight. By the way, real quickly, the 1 to go, as my colleague Scott Shive mentioned, is the 1 to go for the White Flag sponsor. Big thanks to W Energy. Again, W Energy provides high-quality energy drinks after the weekend I've had. Scott Shive, I could use some right now. With a blend of natural ingredients ensuring a clean and effective energy boost without the crash or jitters. W Energy is committed to helping individuals stay energized and perform at their best. You've seen that little ticker on the bottom all night long. Go ahead, Cody. You can throw it up there again. Use the code LFRL for 10% off of your order every time. And also a portion of that proceeds goes back into the Leadfoot Racing League Late Model Tour. There it is. W Energy, the one to go sponsor. We're going to take a break. We haven't took one all night. When we come back, we are going to Victory Lane, Scott and I, to grab Tim Hansen, Parker Eatman, Tanner Carter, and maybe even Jordan Black. This might be interesting. Stay with us. Post-race is next here at Southern National.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. Iracing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iracing.com.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome to Elevated Television. We are home to the Pitfall Podcast Tour, the Madhouse Racing League, and if you are looking for a league or in a broadcast company looking to shine and show your name out there, look no further than Elevated Television. We do more than just broadcasting. We also do quality edits with HD picture quality and more. Here in just a few of what we do here over on Elevated Television. Overlays. We do all forms of racing from late models to NASCAR. So if you're a league owner looking to get your league out there, look no further than Elevated TV. Make sure you check out Elevated Television on YouTube, Facebook, and more. And since we are elevating your game, high-quality sim racing broadcast since 2022.
Another exciting, fun Sunday night of virtual thunder tonight at the high banks of Southern National Motorsports Park in round 3 of the Joyner Brothers Racing 125 for the Leadfoot Racing League Late Model Tour. And when it is all said and done, Tim Hansen is the winner. Now, we're going to grab the podium drivers in just a moment, but for a little extra coverage, we're going to speak now to the JBRD driver of the 14, Jordan Black. Now, Jordan's won earlier this year. Jordan, obviously, as I said in the broadcast booth, you had to make a run on Parker Eatman. I know you guys are teammates. If you had to go back and do it again, what would you have done differently? And obviously, you still get a top 5 finish on the deal.
Yeah, I probably just would have taken my second. I felt like I was a little bit better than him that last run. Tim was really good too. He was running us down, so that definitely contributed kind of to the urgency. But yeah, I probably just if I would have attempted it, I would have probably done it a little bit smarter. He got in pretty deep, which I expected him to do, and I expected him to kind of roll through the center. He got on the brake pedal to make the corner basically, and I just caught him at the wrong angle. I got in deep to try and get to him a little bit. Like I said, my motivation really was just I felt like I was just a tick better than him, and we had battled it out, and neither one of us really want to give an inch. So yeah, just definitely would have done it a little bit differently that time. And obviously sorry to Parker. Didn't mean to get into him right there. I tried to straighten him back out and lift and give at least second to him. But yeah, I mean, we're teammates, but we race each other hard. There's definitely a sense of competition between us too. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. But moving forward, definitely going to try and be a bit smarter if I'm in that situation.
Scott.
Yeah, I mean, I think you covered it pretty much all the way there, Wesley. I mean, Jordan, obviously, you and Parker are fast every single week. You were running second there for most of that race, and obviously, you made the move there at the end. And what do you think about next week? Another situation, we just said you'd probably play that out a little bit differently. Take me through that a little bit more about, say we're at Nashville Fairgrounds next week and this opportunity came up again. How would you run that a little bit differently at a track like the Fairgrounds?
I feel like I owe him a favor now, so I'm definitely not going to risk anything for sure from this point on, at least until he gets another win. I feel like for us, his approach is a bit more like he likes to be the lead car a little bit. And I mean, I do too, but it's obviously a compromise between not burning your stuff up and trying to be there at the end. So I tend to take a little bit more of that approach. But the way the races have played out, especially some of the tracks we go to, you can really carry momentum off the top. So I feel like if I'm going to change anything, it's probably going to try to be put a little bit more emphasis on having the lead with 50, 40, 30 to go in that situation. In terms of racing on the last lap, I mean, obviously, through the early and mid season, I feel like I'm at least going to try and be a bit more lenient and conservative. I think he will too, obviously. And then if we find ourselves in position where we're battling each other at the end of this thing, then that's another situation. At that point, I think the gloves come off, even though we're teammates. So, like I said, just got to be smarter on my end.
Well, Jordan, I appreciate your professionalism and jumping in to join us for these interviews. Sometimes people try to, duck and hide and avoid these things because they don't want conflict. But obviously, it sounds like Parker Eatman's not mad in any way, shape, or form. But I just wanted to kind of have you give your side of having to try to go for that win. Before you let you go, please thank your sponsors. We'll see you next week at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, I feel like given the situation, I got to thank Parker Eatman Racing first this week.
Yes.
And obviously Jordan Black Racing Development, Laney Vice Racing. But yeah, again, like I said, just going to do it a bit differently moving forward, and I appreciate you guys having me on.
And by the way, it is not it's not North Wilkesboro Speedway. We'll be racing there later on in the schedule. We're going to Nashville Super Speedway, Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway in the Music City next week as well. So thank you again, Jordan, and I'll see you in a few weeks at Wake County for the car store as well.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
There you go. There is again driver Jordan Black. He'll finish in the top 5 in 4th position. Thanks again, as always, to Landon Brown, the Brown family, and, of course, Joyner Brothers Racing for sponsoring the race. Now we move into the podium, and the All-Star Race winner joins us. Had some hiccups, had some highs and lows, and that's, of course, Tanner Carter. The runner-up, Parker Eatman, will get his thoughts. But first, Victory Lane and Tim Hansen and that number 38 machine. You had your share of bad luck, good bad luck. Came back, put that 38 car in the right place, that flex case, if you will. Made it work, Tim, and it is your first ever career Leadfoot Racing League iRacing victory. Congratulations here at Kinley.
Thank you very much. It's definitely nice to be at the sharp end of the field on the right half of the race. Definitely had pace the last couple of weeks, but just hasn't worked out well. So this is a much needed reprieve.
Yeah, looking at the end of that race there, obviously we saw Black and Eatman get into each other, but even before that, you definitely had that pace. You just mentioned it coming all together tonight. How did you put that together tonight? You obviously got involved in some incidents earlier on. How did you put that together here near the end of the race?
So I think my tire strategy was actually different to. I don't think anybody did the same thing I did. It's what I tried to do at Lanier, but it didn't pan out that week. I took the left sides at the stage break, and then I waited till what I believe was the penultimate caution to take the right side, so I had fresher tires than everybody else at the end. Which, good thing. I really didn't expect to be fighting at the front, having qualified 9th here, so.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tim, man, when all that took place in front of you, in front of you, did you have a feeling like it was all in slow motion? Cody, I don't know if there's a way you could go back and maybe go on board with Tim Hansen's car number 38 as he's sitting there in the 3rd spot, ready to pounce on Black and Eatman coming down the back straightaway on the white flag lap, but Put us in a perspective, if you will. What's going through your mind? Thank you, Cody. As we now see this on rear view. In your front view, watching all this going on. What was it like making the move to know that you had a chance to go to the inside to win this thing?
I think like the last 10 laps or so, once they started getting side by side, it was definitely a little bit of. If something goes wrong here for one of them, I might be able to snatch second. I really wasn't thinking of the win at that point. I took a look on Jordan with I think 3 to go, and then that didn't pan out for me, so I kind of figured we were going to be 3rd at that point because they got 3 car lengths or so out on me. But yeah, once they tapped, it was just get as low as you can without hitting the pit wall and hope you miss them.
Well, buddy, before we do let you go, I want you to please, sir, thank your sponsors. Big congratulations to you, and obviously, what does it mean to win on the Leadfoot Racing League and finally break through to victory lane on this series?
Oh, it's amazing. Feels great to finally, get a good result. Got to thank FLX Case, Nolan Crowley, and Nolan Crowley Motorsports, and Lana Brown, and all the admins here at Leadfoot Racing League.
There you go. Tim Hansen will win here at the Joyner Brothers Racing 125 at virtual Southern National Motorsports Park. We'll now grab the man that's the runner-up of the event, and that is Parker Eatman, the winner of the Thanksgiving Classic at last year in Kinley, and he'll settle for the bridesmaid spot. Parker, you heard what your teammate Jordan Black had to say on the subject. How are you feeling? Now, obviously, I know you were trying to go for 2 wins in a row, just came up short, but did you have a feeling that was coming?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was coming. I would say I just tried to get in there, deeper than I had, which I felt like I did get in there pretty deep, and I kind of got back on the brakes a little bit to slow up, which maybe that's why he got into me pretty hard there. But yeah, I tried to do the best I could right there and avoid it, but ultimately I knew it was coming.
So, Parker, obviously, how does it work between y'all being teammates? I know that y'all are great friends. I know that he's one of your spotters here when you run the cars to races. How does discussion like that work? Obviously, y'all two are pretty good by now, but talk to me about how that discussion goes on between teammates of when things like that happen near the end of a race.
We were side by side for a couple laps there, and I felt like we raced pretty good, and I ultimately got clear of them, and I took the white flag, and I was like, well, I just got to get one more lap. It shouldn't be a problem. And I came out of 2 pretty solid, and we hadn't said anything over Discord in the past 2 laps. But I thought about saying something going down the backstretch, but I didn't say anything. And I got a pretty good exit of 2, you could say. So I didn't really think it was going to be that bad. Obviously, iRacing can't compare it to real life because I don't think it would have been that bad. But yeah, I knew it was coming. Tried to do everything I could, but ultimately turned me around.
Well, buddy, I'll tell you what, Parker, racing on iRacing around Southern National like you did tonight, does it give you and I think I kind of hinted on it in the broadcast earlier, does it kind of give you like a flashback of Southern National and winning the real Thanksgiving Classic?
Usually it doesn't, I'm gonna be honest, but tonight it did. Running the top there with 5 to go. I mean, after the race, I thought about it. I was like, that's the same thing I did. Same thing I did back there at the Classic to get the win. Obviously didn't pan out tonight. Some unfortunate circumstances happened, and stuff like that happens in racing. So we'll just take it on the chin and move on to Nashville next week.
Nashville next week, buddy. Before we let you go, Parker, thanks for your time, man, and please thank your sponsors on that number 4.
Yeah, I just want to thank Southern Bank, Southern Stone, Southern Ready Mix, Quality Pre-Owned Cars, Robbins Insurance. Just everybody who helps me. It's been a good race. We got one taken away from us tonight, but we'll be back strong next week.
And that is the thoughts of the driver, of course, of Parker Eatman. He will settle for second position here tonight, of course, when it's all said and done of the Joyner Brothers Racing 125. Let's grab the man that finishes in third, the 00. There he is, Weaver Distributors entry, and that is Mr. Tanner Carter, the All-Star race winner earlier a few weeks ago, whenever the season got underway at North Wilkesboro. And I'll tell you what, Tanner, you had your share of bad luck, good runs, getting caught up in accidents. There was a hiccup on the restart where I think you really walloped the wall and probably shortened the front end on the right side a good few inches. But you battled and rallied your way in, made pit stops, and when it's said and done, you finished on the podium in the top three. And it's a good points night, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was a fourth place car there at the end. Fortunate that whatever happened. Ended up snagging the last spot right across the line. So is what it is, I guess.
Well, talking to you, Tanner, Wesley just mentioned it. Those weeks of bad luck you had, you happen to have some of that tonight that you mentioned. What was it like working your way up back through the field? Because we look at this race and obviously what happened between the Sour Monkey Motorsport teammates. You probably would have been in Tim Hansen's positions had you not been involved in those incidents earlier. How do you work through the field, and how does that affect you knowing that you could have been where Tim was tonight?
I mean, we went a lap down, Jordan and Parker and me. We just kind of drove by the leaders and hoped for the best. I reckon the caution came out, kind of saved us. I think I burnt my stuff up a little too much trying to catch back up to the back of the field. Other than that, I mean, the caution came out, got into the incident, got put in the outside wall, stopped, about my only option. Luckily, the caution came out, and then I was able to grab a fast repair before the end. Started 7th and just worked my way back up.
Tanner, man, when all that happened in front of you, do you feel like if maybe you had another lap, if that, bump and run didn't happen on the white flag, but maybe with one or go, coming to the one to go, and all that chaos happened, do you feel like that 00 could have got up to the front and made a run for the win?
Like I said, I think I used my stuff up too much to have any chance of winning that race at all. They were pulling me, so I was settled in with my 4th place finish, and I was okay with it, and then winded up 3rd, so
intent and happy with it. Well, there you go, Tanner. Tanner, before I let you go, my friend, please thank your sponsors. Beautiful race car. The wrap job with that white with the black, and it just kind of really stands out for sure. And we'll see you at Nashville next week.
Oh yeah, I got to thank Tricked Out Decals for my wrap real cars and the iRacing cars. Weaver Distributors and ADP.
There you go. There is Tanner Carter. They will finish on the podium. We added Jordan Black to the fold as well to give his thoughts of what happened in the race. And now everybody will prepare to go to the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. That's another big racetrack, Scott Shy. 5/8 of a mile in the virtual Music City. Make no mistake, that will be an exciting one. Races to come, if we want to put the schedule up on the board as I'm looking at it. Nashville coming up next week on Sunday night. Bristol Motor Speedway coming up on March the 23rd. Hickory Motor Speedway, March the 30th. And then we move to a track that's dormant, but still in the annals of time, making history of iRacing, Concord. They call it Concord Speedway, but it'll always be Concord Motorsports Park in my book. Had the privilege to announce races and go to those tracks when I was a kid. And, of course, Scott Shive, thanks to iRacing, just like Myrtle Beach, you can make memories of your own, and it's with the LFRL, Late Model Stock Tour.
Got Concord, so much fun. In between those and Myrtle Beach, we'll go to South Boston, Sobo, as everybody loves to call it. Another excellent racetrack, but again, this schedule so awesome for these guys at Leadfoot Racing League in their second full-time season. And I think we saw a great one tonight here from this Joyner Brothers Racing 125.
And, of course, don't forget next week. By the way, I want to let everybody know that Joyner Racing Brothers has signed on for also another broadcast with LFRL. We'll have some details on that. And, of course, big thanks to the Joyner Brothers Racing Team, fresh in from the Chili Bowl at Triple T Raceway in St. Paul's. Go-kart racing consisting of the brothers Chandler Joyner and Chase Joyner. The team is owned by their dad, Dusty Joyner, and they have jumped on board, of course, for sponsoring this event. Big thanks also to MHT Design Incorporated, Dubby Energy, Community Radio Network, Tricked Out Decals, and, of course, the Leadfoot Racing League as well. And want to say hello and thank you to other racing news before we get off the air. I think we kind of bypassed this last week, and I do want to mention it. Henry Kalhoff and Michael Dietz has joined up now, creating Kalhoff Dietz Racing. Dylan Porter, Thad Collins, and Seth Cole have joined forces to create Porter's RV Sales. Dominique Abatelio and Cortland Herman have joined to now create Limited Time Motorsports. Parker Eatman and Jordan Black, who you heard from a moment ago in post-race. No, it's not like the Beastie Boys Brass Monkey, that funky monkey. It is Sour Monkey Motorsports, and they've already mentioned that name several times tonight. And finally, also Nolan Crowley and Tim Hansen. Tim Hansen, winner tonight, is joined to make Nolan Crowley Racing NCM. And finally, Chandler Joyner is got Triple B Racing added on a fourth entry, and that was in that 15 car tonight here at Southern National. Just some of the awesome news and notes in the week ahead. Looking up, Scott Shive to Nashville, and obviously what's coming up this upcoming week on Elevated TV. JE Challenge Series, Cedar Lake. Scott and Emmett will be on the call for that, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The 4-wide Motorsports Late Model Stock Car Tour to be at North Wilkesboro. That's why, Scott, I had North Wilkesboro on the brain. We're there.
I know. That's
of course on Thursday night. Yes, sir. That's what it was. And then, man, a front wheel Motorsports mini stock tour. That's pretty cool. Mini stock cars.
Yeah, again, I'm really excited about those. I've heard from so many people that they're so awesome to watch, so awesome to get a call. Glad that I have the opportunity to get to do that over the next 8 weeks. It'll be an 8-week season for them, the same it was for the Modifieds, and it'll be some great racing action.
So, coming up on the Community Radio Network as soon as we get live off the air with coverage of the Leadfoot Racing League. By the way, if you'd like to get signed up, join Leadfoot Racing League on Discord. Reach out to the Brown family, Landon Brown, Tracy Brown, anybody. Hit on that QR code, and they'll take you also to the broadcast of Elevated TV. But, of course, hope you enjoyed coverage not only from Caraway Speedway, tonight's coverage of the Leadfoot Racing League, Late Model Stock Tour, and at Southern National with the Joyner Brothers Racing 125. Coming up next in about an hour or so, we'll join back on the Community Radio Network for our 5th consecutive season and coverage of season number 12 of the Northwest iRacing Truck Series, the best virtual iRacing drivers of the Pacific Northwest. It'll be on CRN, qualifying and the duels to set the stage for the big 200-lapper tomorrow night on LSR TV and CRN. And Scott Shive, as always, a pleasure to work with you, man. We will see what goes on next week when we head to virtual Nashville.